Welcome to this special episode of AMSEcast. We're celebrating Nuclear Science Week. It's organized every year by our friends at the National Museum of Nuclear Science and History down in Albuquerque. There are activities around the country, including in Oak Ridge at AMSE. But this year we came to the expo. There's an expo held every year at some different city around the country. This year in San Diego at the terrific Fleet Science Center. I'm really fortunate to be joined by Morgan Giuggio with Radiant Nuclear. Morgan, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So tell me about you and about Radiant Nuclear. How did you come to that role, and what does Radiant Nuclear do?
Yeah, well, my path there was a little long and windy. So why don't we start with Radiant Nuclear?
Let's do that.
We are a startup based in LA. We're building a portable micro-reactor. We're building it in the office, and it's really exciting to see everything come together. We're targeting to compete with diesel generators, and we have our nuclear fuel test coming up in 2026.
Wow, so right down the road. I know that's quite the massive bureaucracy to get through to do something like NRC and that type of stuff. So you're in the midst of that now. Is that where you are?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
we
right.
have a dedicated regulatory team working with the NRC. We're working very closely with them. And I think it's a big challenge for the NRC, too, because of the nuclear renaissance happening. They're coming up with a lot of new regulations to try to understand how we can best deal with all these new reactors coming
New
out.
types of reactors, for sure.
Yeah.
So what is your role specifically with Radiant Nuclear?
I'm a nuclear engineer there. I am responsible for the shielding on Kaleidos. That's what our reactor is called. And I did not expect to end up in LA for nuclear, but I'm very happy to be there and very happy to be working with that team.
It's an exciting time in nuclear for sure, the nuclear renaissance, as you say. Tell me, I know we talked earlier about this being the first foray, really, of Radiant Nuclear into STEM education. We have so many kids here today at the Fleet Science Center. Tell us, I know you have some background in working with women in STEM. Tell us about the importance you think of STEM education, developing workforce, and how you might see Radiant doing that going down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, personally, I think if I had seen more women in STEM fields when I was a young girl, I would have gotten into nuclear sooner than I did. I think it's a crime, really, that we don't learn more about nuclear energy and nuclear science younger, because this is so important for the world and so necessary. In my heart, I know that this is the solution for the climate crisis that we're facing. It's unprecedented. And personally, I've done some schoolroom visits, just talking to kids, informing them this is nuclear energy. And really, I'm always on my soapbox on nuclear. Anyone I meet who wants to talk about it, I'm going to be there and talking with them about it. I ask them, tell me what you know, tell me your concerns, and I'm really interested in dispelling a lot of the fear and misunderstanding and mystery. I think Radiant's really invested because we know it's important work and that we need nuclear here now. And the only way we're going to get that is if everyone understands how important it is and how necessary it is. So this is our first time here doing community outreach, and we're really happy to be here and really excited to be talking to kids and just getting them excited because science is really magical.
It is.
Yeah.
And you've had a lot of kids around your table. You learned the secret of having suckers for them. So that's helps
always
bring
good.
them in, right?
Yeah.
Now I want to get back real quick, to the extent you can. Tell me about what you're creating. You say you're creating there in the office. How is it fueled? What are the basics of what you can say about it?
Okay, so it's a 1 megawatt reactor. It's portable, so it fits in a shipping container, so it can be transported by truck, plane, train on public infrastructure to the customer. What's going to happen is the customer orders it. It's shipped to them from Radiant. It sits down, plugs and plays, and it can run for 5 years before it's shipped back to our facility where we refuel it. Some of the features I can tell you about, there's a lot of passive safety in the design. We're very concerned with it being ultra safe. We use triso fuel, which I don't know if you're familiar with.
Yes, but please tell our listeners.
Well, the way I explain it to people is it's the nuclear everlasting gobstopper.
Done. You don't have to say
Yes.
anything else.
So the uranium kernel, surrounded with layers of different kinds of carbon, basically. It's the size of a poppy seed. It's very tiny, and there are just thousands of these in compacts in the reactor, and that's the fuel. And the benefit of it is it's very difficult to melt down. I think you need to reach temperatures of 1200 C to get it to melt down, which our reactor is not going to reach that.
Yeah.
So that's one feature. Another safety feature is the helium coolant. Helium can't be activated, so if there is some kind of loss of coolant accident, there's going to be no radioisotope release to the atmosphere. I love working on this every day. It's really cool, really interesting problems, and an amazing team of people, all diverse experiences, and it's just a lot of really great energy in the office.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you have a schedule of when you think this is going to be out in the market, or is that still being worked out?
I can tell you that we are having our first nuclear fuel test. We're aiming to have it in 2026.
Okay.
And we're making really good progress on that. We have our electrically heated decay heat test next year. So that's really exciting. We have a lot of milestones that we're putting out, and we keep reaching them. And that's our plan, just to continue doing that.
So where can our listeners go to learn more about what you're doing?
If you go to radiantnuclear.com, we have a great video. And we have our career pages up there, and any updates we have our blog up there too.
Very good. Well, Morgan, thank you so much for joining us. Really enjoyed our conversation.
Yeah, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of AMSEcast. For more information on this topic or any others, you can always visit us at amse.org or find, like, and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I invite you to visit the American Museum of Science and Energy and the K25 History Center in person. You can also shop at our online store and become a member at amse.org. Thanks to our production team and Matt Mullins, plus our supportive colleagues at the Department of Energy's Office of Science, Office of Environmental Management, and Office of Legacy Management, as well as Oak Ridge National Laboratory, the Y-12 National Security Complex, NNSA, and the AMSE Foundation. And of course, thanks to our wonderful guests today and to all of you for listening. I hope you'll join us for the next episode of AMSEcast. If you've enjoyed this podcast, I would like to ask that you consider becoming a member of the 117 Society, the newest membership opportunity offered by the American Museum of Science and Energy Foundation. By joining the 117 Society, you will help us continue this podcast and our other innovative programming. You will support the expansion of our vitally important educational outreach, including virtual classes. And you will help ensure that both the American Museum of Science and Energy and the K25 History Center can continue to provide world-class exhibits to our community and to the world. Benefits of membership include special access to video and audio content and 117 Society merchandise, as well as all the benefits of our Atom Splitter membership level. To learn more, go to amse.org. The 117 Society is vital to the future of AMSE and the K25 History Center. I hope you will consider joining, and thank you very much.